Hello everybody, and a warm welcome to my channel Tarot by Izabela. I am very happy to see you here today, and I hope you're all doing fine, even if we live in quite crazy and turbulent times for the moment. Today's video will be an update video for Scandinavia. And to do this video I'm going to use my crystal ball, my tarot cards, oracle cards and some dice. But before we begin, I must thank you again, you wonderful viewers, for all of your support to this channel. Without your help, without your wonderful ideas for topics to do readings on, without your mails, coffees, support in all kind of ways, it would be quite difficult to continue, and it gives a lot of strength and inspiration to do more videos. So I'm very, very grateful. Well, what about the Scandinavian countries? I would like to do an update on every country on our planet, but for the moment there are more than 200 countries, and it's impossible to do an update on every country, and within a lifetime, I would say. But I try to do my best, and I try to have a variety of countries, but one have to remember the world is so much bigger than the Western countries. Every person's life is equally important, doesn't matter where they live, and I would love to do more countries that are maybe not so so much talked about. But since I live in Sweden, and a lot of fellow citizens and people in the Scandinavian countries, they are very worried about where we are heading with all this warmongering, and many have sent me mails, please do Sweden, do Finland, Norway, Denmark and so on. So I try to, in this video, do an update for the Scandinavian countries. And the Scandinavian countries are Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland and Iceland. They normally count as the Scandinavian countries. And in front of me I have a map of those 5 countries. That is to easily point out if I see something in the crystal ball, some big event or some big happening, to pinpoint out where it could be. And I will say what I see, even if things happen that I don't predict in the crystal ball. Maybe it was not meant for me to see, I cannot say, but I say what I see. And time frames are very difficult to predict on. Sometimes I can get within a year, half year, closest weeks or so on. But time frames are very fluent. They can change to come quicker, and they can also change to come further on in the future. So I don't think there is any seer or person that looks into the future that can give exact time frames, since that it's quite difficult. And for all of you that send me many questions, you can always scroll down the video list. I have made a lot of videos, and sometimes the questions are answered in a video that I made maybe 6 months earlier, or a year and a half. So you can always scroll down, and it could be that you find a video with a topic just what you would like to have a reading on. Well, let's start with this reading now. First, I need to concentrate on my crystal ball for the Scandinavian countries, and after that, let's see what I can find, and then I'm gonna take some extra cards for some extra information. And the crystal ball, it works like a symbolical antenna. It catches the energy that is already out there, transform it and transmit it to me. And when I see things, it can be something symbolical, it can be something like a scenario of a real happening. It can also be like short movie clips or photos or something like that. And then I try to make some sense of what I see. But now I need to concentrate for a few moments, and we start quite soon. For the Scandinavian countries. Yeah, glasses on, and let's see if we find something. The first thing I see is some place in the northern part of Norway. And I see some kind of big explosion in a mountain area. And the ground are shaking. And there are not so many people living there. So I don't see like a lot of people dead. But it could be quite scary. I see snow on the ground. So it's possible that this could happen during a period of time in the year when there is a lot of snow. And it's an explosion. It's not an earthquake. It's gonna feel like an earthquake, but it's due to a big explosion. And I see a lot of people worried in Norway. What will happen? What will happen? More and more people are opening their eyes to the craziness in the warmongering with the country are. Leave us alone. We don't want to take a part of it. They will try, the government Norway will try to, almost by force, take young people into being cannon fodder. And a lot of protest against that. And the Norwegian princess married a shaman. I see that couple more and more. I see retrieving themselves from royalty, from court life, and like, it would not surprise me if they move abroad and they don't want to have anything to do with aristocracy. Symbolically, the shaman, so-called shaman, I see him pulling out foxes out of a bag. So there are some trickiness, there are some maybe not so nice secrets around this person, and that will also be come up into the open. The Northern Sea around Iceland, the waters around Norway, there will be a lot of submarine activity, and the submarines from the country will be spotted. and no one will dare to go to attack on those submarines, since they are a carrier of very, very heavy weapons. There will be another kind of volcanic eruption on Iceland. I see earthquakes, I see trembling, I see people moving, a lot of people moving from one area to another, like from the east to the west. I see airports closed, but a lot of traffic with helicopters. And could be that Norway or the Scandinavian country gonna send extra helicopters to Iceland to help evacuate some people. Through some volcanic eruption, when the lava comes from beneath the earth up to the surface, they're gonna find some strange things in that lava that will be talked about on the news. Regarding Sweden, Sweden is unfortunately lately famous for all the shootings and bombings and crimes and gangs and so on. It's quite an unsafe country. It has become that lately, with a lot of heavy criminality everywhere. And people are really getting tired. I see some big arrests coming in Sweden, and those are leaders or heads of very heavy gang criminality. And people will be very surprised who the top head of those big gangs are. And they are not like tattooed, pumped up mob bosses. No, they are more people in the expensive suits on high position in the society. It will be almost like overnight, or within a couple of days, in a very short period of time anyway, where we're gonna see, especially in Sweden, a big shift in the news. From it being a very censored news with only one side of the story told and pushed on people, and propaganda, very heavy propaganda, it's like that restriction is gone. And finally people will hear things that will shock the majority. How is it possible this was not talked about earlier? And I see anger begin to boil inside the Swedes. They will get very, very upset of how their government been controlled by a few corporations. And everything, all the suffering that people are feeling in Scandinavia, as in all other countries around the world, because people are suffering everywhere, a lot, is due to really those heavy CEOs in big corporations that only think about profit. In Gothenburg, somewhere around Gothenburg, I see a bridge going down, quite important bridge, and that traffic will be stopped for a couple of weeks, could even be months. So people have to redirect or go a different way. That will cost them a lot of time. A lot of incompetence will come up to the open in Sweden, especially when concerning arms and supplies for war. In Denmark, I see a symbolical storm in the political area. Almost like politicians are going to fist fight with each other openly. Arguments, nasty words being thrown at each other. And that will also be the sign that soon the political system, not only in Denmark, but many countries around the world, is being changed out, always going down. The corrupt political system. Also, a human trafficking ring will be stopped in Denmark. I see young women, children, like hidden away symbolically in closets, in containers or something like that, and they are going to be saved. And who has been making money of it, and the links from where and so on will be exposed. I see some political reforms regarding school. Could even be that a lot of free meals for the children in Denmark. Could be breakfast, lunch, afternoon, better meals, some new start in what the children should eat, and that they should have it for free. I see a lot of protest being organized in Finland regarding the decision of joining NATO. The Finnish people will begin to wake up to the reality what they have been dragged into. And they really gonna make their voices heard. We don't want to be here. We don't want to take part of this madness. Country are around the border because country are also have a border with Norway and Finland. They're gonna set up very heavy ammunition, missiles that will really scare the people that lives close to the border. Before the Finnish people and Swedish people joined this organization, there were peace. There were no weapons, direct weapons around the border. People were communicating. They were trading with each other. They were traveling back and forward. There were not hostility. And now the governments want everybody to hate everybody. And the people just want to have normal lives. They don't want to live in hate. And the more time goes forward, the more people will be aware of their government's love of bloodshedding and war and this thing, and also how they have been manipulated through all kinds of propaganda to hate, not to make negotiations of peace, but just to hate someone they never met, or someone that have never really been a threat to them. There will be seen in the coming weeks, could be even months, Russian airplanes, battle planes, crossing different Scandinavian countries, and really don't care so much about entering another country's territory. Just to make a point, you have crossed the line, we're gonna do this, and we can do this if you want, if we want. So that will also be quite scary scenario. It wouldn't surprise me, I hope I'm wrong, a total blackout for the Scandinavian countries. It could be a cyber attack, it could be attack on some big power station that is controlling electricity for those 5 countries. Because I see this area black, just few lights here and there, but like the power is out for that area. And I don't see it like when it's warm in there, it's more when it's cold in there. Could be late autumn, winter, early spring, something like that. So I can recommend people who live in Scandinavian country to have a couple of candles at home, or a torch, or some extra light in case this happen, because it looks like it will happen nighttime. It will be some turbulent time, yes. One can maybe lose hope that it will be a better future. But remember, it's always the darkest before the sun rises. And it's the same for the Scandinavian countries. It will be one nasty story after another. Things will happen. But it's a sort of cleaning up process. It will come a time, and it's quite near future. As I said, time is difficult to predict on. It's not like we have to wait a lifetime for it. The cleaning process is done. And those who rule the different countries are people that really have that position in order to help their citizens to make their lives better, not to do some agenda for some globalist boss, but really work for the people. And many Western countries have a lot of people from other countries that are not born in the Western countries, that came to those countries as refugees, or maybe for some other strange reason. And many refugees that came to the Scandinavian countries came because of especially the Swedish involvement in wars around the globe. And if there is war started because of some globalist family, profit from it, then people also have to escape, and they were given the green card for Scandinavian countries. Many people in quite near future will return to their home countries, since their home countries will be able to offer them a very, very good life. Financially, educationally, in all kind of way. So some kind of, I would not say depopulation, but people that will return to their home countries, and that will leave a lot of empty houses, apartments, and so on. And there will be big financial, I see like a vault, something that goes around in the financial area for the Scandinavian countries. People who have struggled a lot to make the ends meet will finally be able to go to the shop with a smile, pay for whatever they need, grocery, and they still have money left for other things to do, to enjoy life. And it will be easier for everyone. Both in many Scandinavian countries, big luxurious villas and mansions and whatever, castles, where those extremely rich people that have their fortune through wars or through other strange activities involving horrible crimes. I see many of those mansions and villas empty. They are not there. Many of those villas or mansions will be turned into schools, some kind of healing centers and things like that. Exactly when, I cannot say, but that is the picture I am given. And I see people in all of those 5 countries talking about aliens, extraterrestrial life, some very strange sightings over these 5 countries will be seen that nobody, the science cannot explain. And people, it would be quite shocking for them. It's like a wake-up call. In some areas in Stockholm, I see very dirty water coming out from the faucets. The water is not drinkable, and the people will not be able to drink the water. They will have to buy drinking water, or I see trucks going around making stops in certain areas in Stockholm, giving people, drinking water. Yeah, because I see it contaminated. Some problems with the railway. I see, between two stations in Norway. It could be between Trondheim and Bergen. Some big problems with that, with those tracks. It's like the train cannot go further, and people evacuating the train. It's nothing wrong. It's not like derailment, but trains cannot go, and they will have to take buses or cars or other way of transportation to come to the destination. Be quite frustrating. Somewhere in the south of Sweden, a wolf, real wolf, will be seen inside a city. Not a big city, but still quite big city. Walking down the streets. And people get scared. And I see this wolf walking. And a lot of people will take photos and film it. And then it will run back into the nature. Just like a reminder. We were here before you. Okay, now I'm gonna take some cards on Scandinavia to see if there is any additional information to be said. Two more. And finally, subtitles. This was blank. I need another one. Very interesting. Okay, the cards, they look like this. In the tarot cards for the Scandinavian countries, we have Queen of Coins, Ten of Wands, the Tower, King of Wands, and Ace of Cups. On the Oracle cards, we have Fidelity, an Anchor, Breaking Trail, a breakthrough is at hand, Crossroads, Discipline, Armor, Boundaries. And on the dice we have a face with a question mark in, Aladdin's lamp with 3 wishes, a castle, and slowly. Well, many of us we think, oh, the progress, it's so slowly. We really would like to have a change. There are a lot of promises of miracles here and miracles there, but nothing is really happening. Who is gonna make that change? Why is it so slowly? Why are people suffering so much? And so on and so on. We all have those questions. It's normal, we are humans. Nobody really wants to suffer. And we see this going down, this getting worse, and so on. But the cards promise a breakthrough is coming. And when it comes, it's gonna crash down on everyone, like the tower. It's the whole, let's say, bloody system of corruption and evilness will just come down in a second, no, but in quite quickly. And after that comes a period of rebuild. And people will be standing in a crossroad, because we are programmed since childhood through propaganda in school, through some kind of mind control, through the school system. You have to think like this, you have to believe this, you cannot be a sovereign soul, and so on and so on. You have to work so much to be someone, and if you don't do what we tell you and what is so-called normal, then, well, something is wrong with you. So people in the Scandinavian countries will come to a crossroad. What do we want? Do we want the old life we think was secure and safe, or do we embrace the new life that is being offered? And the new life, when everything collapses, the whole system collapses, will be a life in love and abundance, a life with boundaries, but also protection. Boundaries, well, not like we're gonna be prisoners of some kind, but specific boundaries. You are not allowed to kill, you are not allowed to hurt someone. This kind of more moral boundaries. And I'm not talking about some religious laws, no. We all are born with these boundaries. A little child have that inside of them before the system corrupts them. A small child don't hate another child, really. A small child, almost all little children love animals, or they are nice to each other, or they want to play. They don't see color of the skin, or you are better than me because you are from there, or if you are a boy or a girl. No, little children don't have it. When they grow up, it's when the corruption begins. So yeah, big collapse of the system is coming. And as I said, people are suffering, and they want to stay true to the system because they are raised like that. And something else, it's very difficult to imagine, even if the something else would offer them abundance, freedom, sovereignty, and also make the wishes come true for many. We cannot expect any savior, but there are so much forces involved in this collapse and the rebuild to something better. And it will not be pointed out to a savior, a certain person or persons. No, it will be like many people involved at the same time. So no one will really be able to take a credit for anything. It's like or work together. Yeah. Well, now I'm just gonna take 3 last cards for Update Scandinavia and see if there are any last words. Some last words for Scandinavia. I need another one. Okay, the first card, 9 of Swords. Then we have Page of Wands, the Death, you know what? I'm gonna take a picture of this so you can see it clearly. Just a moment. Well, the cards I got, they are 9 of Swords, Page of Wands, the Death, and then above it we have the Chariot, 5 of Cups, and 6 of Swords. Yeah, people will be quite distressed and angry of all the BS that have been given to them during the years. They will not believe anything that comes out of the government system, and it will be the end of the way the schools are teaching the children. There is an end to the old system with the Death card. And people will be able to choose right or left. Do we want to return to the old ways, or do we want to embrace the new ways? And it will be quite frustrating, especially what their governments in Scandinavia have been involved with. So much death and destruction. And those in high position, they will flee the country or they will disappear. And as I said before, a lot of people that came to the Scandinavian countries because of death and destruction in their own countries, they will be able to return to their home countries. And many of them will want to return, as I said before, because their lives will be much richer and much better than if they stayed in those Scandinavian countries. So yeah, big changes are coming. The old system is dying and giving birth to something new. And what will be this something new? We have 2 of Wands, friendship, balance, equality. No one is above any other. So a world in balance and harmony. Well, that was my reading for the Scandinavian countries. And to all of you beautiful people out there, be strong, don't lose hope, even if it's gonna look quite dark for some period of time. It's never too late to change your opinion on something, because most of us have been really, really lied to since childhood. And when a different version is coming up, don't take it directly as a lie. Investigate, compare, and don't be blindfolded. The reality could be something else than you have been taught throughout your life. But anyway, big changes are coming for Scandinavia, and with those changes, turmoil, but also at the end, a lot of blessings and new beginnings. Well, I want to thank you so much, you all, for watching, and hopefully we're gonna see each other soon again. Bye bye.